Welcome, everyone. Welcome, everyone. And thank you so much in advance for sharing your Sunday evening with us. We certainly appreciate it because we understand there are tons of things, other things you could be doing, and yet you decided to be here with us. So we don't take that lightly, and we appreciate the time, your time tonight. And so I will just say this. When you started talking about, I'm guessing y'all didn't hear any music playing. Did you hear any music playing?
Nothing.
Oh my gosh. I have
Nothing.
the best playlist for you guys. And I thought I shared it, but I didn't. So I was thinking, I'm like, is he talking over the music? This is interesting. There was no music. Okay. Well, anyway, let's start here. I was loving there's tech issues. Let's start here. And here's the thing. It wasn't even a tech issue, it was a user error. It's all good. Share with us, you guys, in the chat why you attended to why you decided to attend tonight. So I know we have nurses on here, nurse practitioners on here. We have doctors of Chinese medicine on here. In fact, drop that in if you're RN NP PA. Yeah, hey Sydney, we have PAs on here. So drop in the chat, you guys. We love to see who we're talking to. We love to see where you're from. We love to know why you chose to attend tonight. So drop in, PA from NYC. I know you already put NYC, and why you chose to attend tonight. We absolutely love that. And I'm going to ask if you can turn on your camera if you're at a place where you don't have a whole lot of distractions. I would definitely we love talking to real life people and not just boxes with names and pretty pictures. So if you're able to turn on your camera, we certainly appreciate that as well. And I will tell you, studies have shown that when you do, there's been a whole lot of studies since COVID because everything went online, right? But you get more. And that's what we're here. We're not here just to, have a good time. We're going to have a good time, but we want you to get what you came for. So one of the best ways to ensure that you get what you came for, turn your camera on if you can, if you're able to, okay? And so I always like to give a little bit of a roadmap, you guys. And so that way we know where we're going. So where we're going tonight, what we're going to cover tonight is Dr. Orlando is actually going to kick us off. By the way, welcome to the floor. What?
I'm being funny.
Oh, I should have officially welcomed you guys. Welcome to 4 Ways to Heal the Thyroid Without Treating the Thyroid. So good. So Dr. Landis is going to kick us off. He's going to teach us 4 masterful ways to heal the thyroid without pharmaceuticals that will position you as a highly sought after clinician and a highly sought after expert because you're going to be able to get your patients better, faster. Okay. And then I'm going to share with you a nice little secret to attracting high ticket clients or clients for your premium offers and your premium services with ease so that you can start paying yourself more, but even more importantly, so that you can make a bigger impact. Because that's what we're here to do. And then the last thing we're going to cover tonight together is what the top 1% successful holistic health business owners do and what they know that allows them to soar so that you can create and scale your business that to the place that you truly desire. Right? Again, we're here to make more impact, but we also want to have a more fulfilling, more impactful practice and business. And we want to live a life of abundance. So, and at the end, I'm going to, we have some gifts for you. So definitely stay to the end. And here's the thing, if you're watching the replay, this is only available for those of you who are live, who stay to the very end, okay? So we have some gifts for you, and then we're also gonna share with you some details about the Prosperous Practitioner Program so that you guys know what there is to offer. So what we have to offer. So that being said, how does that sound? Everybody everybody good with that? Okay, I get some, by the way, whether you're on camera, which I appreciate everyone who did turn your cameras. Thank you, beautiful, beautiful ladies, beautiful people in the house. So whether your camera is on or whether it's off, one thing that I definitely want to encourage you to do is use those emojis or those reactions. Give us a thumbs up. If something resonates, give us like a mind blown thing, something. Type into the chat. Everyone's going to be on mute tonight. And we don't want you to wait to ask your question. So if something comes up for you as we're going through everything tonight, type it into the chat and we will be checking the chat periodically and we'll make sure that you get your questions answered. Okay. All right. But use those emojis so we know that you're with us. All righty. So let's make sure that everyone is in the right place. We always want to make sure of that. And so who is this masterclass designed for? I think it's really important that we establish that. So, number one, it is designed for you. If you are an RN, if you're a nurse practitioner, if you are PA, if you are a doctor, of any sort. It's hard to put DO, MD, DACM, all the things. But if you're a doctor, you're in the right place. Okay, so nurse practitioner, PA, like mid level and above. All right. This is also for you if you are no longer aligned or no longer 100% aligned with conventional healthcare, right? You're tired of the band-aid approach. You're tired of addressing every ill with a pill. Like you're tired of that, and you want to be able to do something deeper, and something different in addition to that. Okay, like you don't want that to be your only thing and your first go-to, right? This is also for you if you are burned out, or if you see burnout on the horizon. You're like, oh, I see it. It's right there, like it's creeping up on you. Okay, it's for you if you're overworked. It's for you if you are underpaid, and you know if you're underpaid, if you're underpaying yourself, right? This is for you if you're ready to create something different for yourself, for your family, for your patients. Okay. This is also for you if you currently have a business. That if you don't have a business, this is still for you. If you're like on the precipice of launching your business, definitely you're in the right place. This is also for you if you do currently have a business. However, your business, it might be doing very well, but you're wanting to add on a service, or you're wanting to add on a program with minimal, if any, extra overhead, so that you can experience, again, more freedom and more financial freedom, and still be able to make such a beautiful level of impact. Okay. This is also for you if you have a business, maybe a med spa, maybe a IV hydration business, perhaps a weight loss clinic. So you have an existing business, but it's not quite generating the level of revenue, or the amount of revenue that you really desire. Perhaps you're still picking up shifts to cover your business expenses. Maybe you're just making just enough to cover your business overhead, but you're not paying yourself, or you're not paying yourself at all, or you're paying yourself very little. Or you're paying yourself sporadically, like this month, maybe next month, I don't know, right? So this is for you as well. Okay. So if you said, yep, that's me, to any of those things, you're in the right place. And I'm so glad that you are, because we're about to shift all of that for you. If that is not you, because we understand that sometimes people, they just see like the title and like, oh, I'm going to join that. But if I will say, if that's not you, and if you're not a clinician, this is actually not the right masterclass for you. We do have other master classes that are for non healthcare providers, and that would be a better fit for you. So if again, if that is you, or if that's not you, excuse me, if that's not you, then we're going to go ahead and invite you to go ahead and drop off, so that we can go ahead and get started. Okay, respectfully, of course. All right. So that being said, you guys, I want you to that. Wow, I saw the country on that. Every once in a while, I hear my little country tank. I'm from Houston, Texas, y'all, but no one ever believes I'm from Houston, because apparently I don't have much of a country accent. But every once in a while, like just now, it kind of slipped out. Anyway, really twangy there. But I do want to invite you to close out all of your windows, reposition or relocate yourself if you need to, if you're in a place that has a lot of distractions, TV on, kids in the background, whatever the case may be, because I really want you, again, to get what you came here to get, with minimal distraction. And I will say this, this is not a fluff and puff masterclass. You're gonna get the goods. And that's why I say get rid of all the distractions, because we have had people attend this very masterclass, 4 ways to heal your thyroid masterclass. They've taken the information and they've implemented it and made thousands upon thousands of dollars. Okay. So that's how serious I am about you, about saying, get rid of all your distractions. All right. And I also want to just kind of really drive home the point that this masterclass is not just to consume information, right? This is not about that, but rather to inspire you to take action, you guys, to take action. The time is now. Now more than ever, the time is now. Okay. We can consume information all day, every day, but the reality of it is that you will not make the level of impact that you're wanting to make until you take action. Okay. This is about having an awakening to the availability of more impact, more fulfillment, more income, more. Okay. This is not about more hustle and grind. This is not about feast or famine in terms of clients or patients, in terms of income. No, none of that. In terms of peace, sometimes you're at peace and sometimes you're not. No, this is not about creating more of the same. All right. So I want you to get your pens and paper out, or whatever you're choosing to take notes on, whatever digital device you're choosing to take notes on. And let me just share with you who I am. So once we start everything, we can just kind of flow into it. So before I bring up Dr. Linus, I just want to share with you. I know we have some really some frequent flyers. We have some very familiar faces, and we love it when y'all come back for more and more and more and more and more. So hey there to all of you who are familiar with us. And for those of you who are not familiar with us, again, we're going to just briefly introduce ourselves. So for those of you who are not familiar with me, my name is Sharice Williams. I'm a registered nurse. I've been a nurse since 1996, 29 years, I think that is, 28 years, something like that. I've been married for the same length of time that I've been a nurse. So I really should know how many years I've been a nurse. I think it's 28. I think this year will be 29. Bottom line is, I worked in the ICU for my entire nursing career, and primarily in CVICU and CCU. So I'm a heart nurse. I always love to say I'm a heart nurse. I love the heart. But this is what happened. As I was working in the ICU, I'll never forget. I was standing in front of bed 22 in surgical ICU that particular night. I worked night shift, and I remember walking out of bed 22, and I remember like literally stopping as soon as I got outside of the room, and I was like, "We're doing something wrong. We are doing something wrong." And what I meant by we're doing something wrong, I meant all of us, the nurses, the doctors, the pharmacists, everybody involved. We were doing something wrong because that particular night, my patients were one was in their 40s and one was in their 50s. That's young, especially now that I get older. I'm like, oh, that really is young. But at the time, I was in my late 20s, and I was like, wait a minute, our patients are getting sicker younger, because if you had just rewound 5 years, 6 years prior, the patients at least in the surgical ICU and even CVICU, they were 60s, 70s, 80s, even hundreds. We have some 100-year-olds in there. And I thought, what are we doing that we're getting sicker younger? This is a problem. And so that's when I started getting a bit disenfranchised with the current state of healthcare. I pivoted. I actually ended up leaving the bedside, and I started my own consulting company, healthcare IT consulting and project management company. So if you guys are familiar with Epic and Cerner and Allscripts, all the EMR systems, I was one of the people that managed those multi-million dollar projects, changing from either paper to EMRs, electronic medical records, or one electronic medical record to another. So bottom line is I travel the country helping hospital systems make that transition. And it was fabulous. I was making incredible money, but like many of you could probably relate to, I put my health on the back burner, and I literally started falling apart. And when I say I started falling apart, I am not kidding. I had gained a massive amount of weight. I was having knee pain as a subsequent effect of the weight, right? I had migraines every single day. Literally, I was taking medicine every day for migraines, and my migraines never even went away. They just decreased a bit in intensity, but they were always there. And I always felt like crap because of the medication, right? And so chronically fatigued. It was horrible, and it all came to a head one day when I was actually at a site, at a hospital site, and I actually was out to eat, and I was with a friend. We were leaving the restaurant. We were walking to the parking lot. Literally, I stepped off the curb into the parking lot, and I fell. You guys, I'm in my early 30s. When we think about people falling, we think about little old ladies. I was not a little old lady. I was like maybe 32. I don't know. I was young. And so, not that I'm not young now, but I was young. I was younger. And I fell face down in the parking lot. And I remember sitting there. I was literally laying there, and I'm like, girl, get up. Are you on the ground? Did you just fall? Get up. And so my friend helped me up. I dusted myself off, walked to the car, and I put my head on the steering wheel, and I cried. I literally cried. And I was like, girl, you're falling apart. You're falling apart. And I'm so grateful for that moment, because that's what actually put me on my holistic health path, my holistic health trajectory. And so bottom line is, I I started researching everything I could. I started learning about food as medicine. I started learning about medicinal herbs. I started learning about therapeutic essential oils, meditation, visualization. I started learning about all of the different types of healing modalities, and I healed myself. I literally lost 80 pounds in like 8 months. My energy went through the roof. I have not even had so much as a migraine, so much as a headache, even in over 5 years. It's been absolutely amazing. And then at that point in time, I remember thinking, how many people don't know this? There are way too many people who don't know this information. And how many people, aren't going to take the time to do all the doggone research. And so that's when I launched my holistic health business. And then shortly after that, I ended up launching a business coaching business for other to really help equip other practitioners like yourself to help people heal themselves. Okay. I've gone on to write a book. I'm a best selling author. I have two kids, men. They're actually young men. Anyway, so that is my journey. And one thing that you will learn about me is that I'm absolutely unapologetic about normalizing abundance in this holistic health and functional medicine space. So that's a little bit about me. Dr. Landis, I'm going to have you come on up, introduce yourself, and then hop right on into it.
All righty. Well, I guess I was kind of talking earlier with my big trap. I guess I should have told you about myself, but
Oh,
in
sure.
case can't hide my accent. I'm from Louisiana, so ain't no doubt about how country I am. So, but even though I've been living in the big city for the past 23 years, I still have my little accent. So no doubt about it. I'm from Louisiana. They say South Arkansas because that's what I sound like. So Northern Louisiana, which is called AKA South Arkansas. So, but yeah, but I've been a physician since 1999, board certified obstetrics and gynecology. Burnt out around 2010. Got again the system delivering babies. I love it, but God bless those who still doing it. I want to get some sleep and raise my own kids. So
Mhm.
so then I went along the functional medicine route. Dove head first into functional medicine around 2008. I dibbled and dabbled, but went full steam ahead. Allowed me to retire myself in 2010. But that doesn't mean that's what we're telling you. That doesn't mean there's not going to be some bumps in the road because you get fed up and make it. There will be challenges. There's ups, there's downs. There's good days, there's bad days, there's sunshine, and there's definitely going to be rain. But the good thing is that you got to keep on keeping on. I know it's a song, but I don't know who's singing it right now. But you got to keep on going. So, and like I said, dark days, suicidal thoughts, depression, being in medicine, right? Because I was so burnt out from the system. So therefore, but I am a husband. I am, she probably don't want nobody to know that, but I am a husband of 23, 24 years right now. I think 24, 20, somewhere up in there. She decided to keep me around. I guess she said, oh, nobody, she can't get no receipt from me, so she ain't getting no refund. So I guess she's going to keep me. So I have three children. I have a 29-year-old son. I have a 16-year-old daughter and a 14-year-old daughter. And I know you're thinking I'm crazy. Like, what in the world were you thinking? I don't know either. So blame it on OBGYN. I was sniffing the anesthesia or something, but I went crazy during that time. So I had to start over. But I love my little diamonds in the rough. I call my little girls diamonds in the rough. That's what they are to me. I am also an author. I'm an author of two books. One called Doc, Please Listen, because we don't listen in medical. We don't listen. And the other one's called Hormone Secrets. I am the hormone guy. I am the hormone specialist. I love hormones. I help and empower women to love their bodies again. That's my thing. That's my creed. That's what I do. And that's why I want to help you guys figure out what your passion is to figure out who you want to work with as well. And so along the path, my story isn't as grand as Sharice, but that's what it is in a nutshell. Like I say, happily married to my beautiful business partner. And she's like, oh, you got another class tonight? Oh, good. I get to keep the remote and the TV all to myself, and I ain't got to watch no football. I said, don't worry. The Saints been out of it, and the Ravens lost last weekend, so I don't even care who playing today. Even though Philadelphia won, but it's all right. Yeah, so let's go Buffalo. But anywho, so let's get started because I know I honor your time. I want to go ahead and knock this out the box. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna share my screen and we're gonna get down to the nitty gritty because like we said, no fluff, no filler, straight no chaser. I think that's what the kids used to say. All right, can we see my screen? We good?
Not yet. Yes.
Okay, all right, cool. This is gonna be easy. I always like to start with a few little just a few slides. I want to just lay the groundwork, and then I want to dive into the nitty gritty. Okay, so of course everybody's familiar with the thyroid gland, small butterfly shaped gland in the base of the neck, right above the clavicle, right in front of the esophagus, and all those cricoid colleges and all that kind of good stuff. That's what it is. I love this picture because literally they said the light of the world. The thyroid gland is like the light of the body. It makes everything go. Now, these are the most current, the most current statistics I can find. But just to give you an idea of how common thyroid disease is, this is diagnosed thyroid disease. 20 million Americans have some form of thyroid disease. And up to 60% of those with thyroid disease are unaware of their condition. So there may be another 20 to 40 million walking around out there with thyroid conditions and don't even know it. Why they don't know it? Because they don't fit into the diagnostic lab criteria to be classified as thyroid conditions. Even though they have all the symptoms, they can look it up, Google it, and they say, that's me, that's me. But when they check the labs, you know what? They say you don't have it. You know, I don't know why you're having symptoms because all your thyroid labs are normal. So can I get an amen in check, or can I get a boom shaka laka laka, right? That's what we say. We've said, as practitioners, we have said that. I know you have gained weight. I know you're tired. I know your hair is thinning. I know your eyebrows are thinning. Your nails are brittle. Your feet, hands and feet are cold. You're constipated. You're depressed. Low libido. You can't sleep. All this stuff. 18 out of 20 symptoms, but because the lab doesn't say I have thyroid conditions, the doctor or the nurse, the practitioner, whomever, the healthcare provider says you do not have thyroid. Then this stat right here, up to 60% of those with thyroid disease are unaware of it. And that's where we're losing a lot. So all your mental health challenges out there, maybe they don't have a mental issue. Maybe it's their thyroid. There is a such thing called a thyroid brain connection. All right, FYI. So over 18% of females and 13% of males have thyroid gland disease. So we know females get the disease more often, or the diagnosis more often than men. And nearly 5% of Americans over the age of 12, these are babies, also have hypothyroidism, which is low thyroid disease. That's a lot of children, all right? The thyroid gland, it can also known as the shield gland. Why? Because it sits right here in front of the esophagus, in the air windpipe, the trachea and everything. It sits right here in front. So it kind of shields those delicate organs from maybe some blunt trauma or something. That's why, and it's also shaped like a little shield. If you think about the shape of the thyroid gland, because it's here, it's also like a little shield protecting itself. The thyroid gland is normally 6 to 20 grams in weight when there's no garters involved. So that's not too big. But now the size of the thyroid actually depends on the person's body size and the amount of iodine supply in their system. That's why when you see those pictures, those people, those huge garters, they don't have iodine in the system. That's iodine deficient. In America, we iodize everything. So a lot of times we won't have those problems. I have found of one or two in my career, so it's not as rare as we think. Now, the thyroid gland has an abundant blood supply with approximately 5 mLs per gram per minute going through it. So that's anywhere from 30 to 100 cc's of blood going through the thyroid every minute. And your entire blood supply, all what they say we have 6 pints of blood, all 6 pints of how much ever drops of blood we got in our body travels through the thyroid gland once every hour. That's how important this gland is, that all of your blood has to go through that gland at some point, I guess 24 times a day if there's 24 hours in a day, right? Even at less than 1/4% of its, even though it's 1/4% of its body weight, the thyroid gland can get up to 5 times its size in blood flow. Now that's amazing. I mean, a little bit of peanut, but taking a whole grapefruit full of blood. So that's just for comparison's sakes. That's pretty good. So here is just an example of all the thyroid interactions that maybe sometimes we don't think about. Because why? What have we done in medicine? What mistake have we made? We have dismembered the body. I'm a gynecologist, so ladies, please forgive me, but I'm gonna tell you how they say it on the street. I'm a boob and a pube kind of guy. That's what they say to that guy. We boobs and pubes. That's what they say. Your orthopedics, there's a hand surgeon, there's a shoulder surgeon, there's a hip surgeon, there's a knee surgeon, there's a joint, there's a heart doctor, a lung doctor, GI doctor, a neurologist, neurosurgeon, neuroscientist. We've dismembered the body so we don't look at it as a whole. In functional medicine, what we do, we take the 3,000-foot view and we say, okay, let me see what's going on overall, and then we dial it down to the root cause, what's going on underneath. So you can see some examples. We talked about depression, thyroid and brain, constipation and diarrhea, thyroid in the GI tract, gallstones, problems losing weight, gallbladder function, liver function, I can't detox, lipid, cholesterol, high cholesterol, low thyroid, high cholesterol, protein metabolism. You on a carnivore diet, your thyroid jacked up, you ain't gonna digest protein whether plant or animal, you won't break it down as well. Red blood cells, anemia, glucose, blood sugar. There's a thing called thyroid diabetes. If you're dealing with some diabetes and you can't seem to get under control, you're on insulin, Lantus, long-acting, short-acting, intermediate-acting, play-acting, all the kind of acting insulins you can be on. It doesn't matter. The oral hypoglycemics, If you don't solve your thyroid issue, there's a thing called thyroid diabetes. And all in the brain, there's type 3 diabetes, right? We talk about type 3, about, you know what that is? That's Alzheimer's. That's dementia. So all that's connected. So then we got hormones. You think, oh, I'm in menopause, so it's estrogen, progesterone. Oh, I'm a man, low testosterone. Maybe it's your thyroid instead of maybe rubbing on all the lotions and potions and creams and pills. So maybe we need to look at the thyroid health and see if that was going on. Bones, women, osteoporosis. Oh, man, that cat, I was always lazy and I fall. I was clumsy and I fall. I break a bone with no big deal. I'm tough. Maybe you're not tough. Maybe it's a thyroid problem. Heart, cardiovascular, uncontrolled hypertension. All this cardiovascular disease. We got strokes, heart attacks. Could the thyroid be in play? And Cherie says she's an ICU nurse. Did you know do you know the best way to calm, if you're in the ICU, to stabilize an unstable, deadly rhythm in the ICU? You know what they use? They use T3. They use thyroid medication to stabilize a deadly arrhythmia. They use thyroid medication, but yet they tell you, oh, you have palpitation, get off the thyroid, but yet they use it to cure it. Weird, weird, weird. So, all right. So what I want, this is a great picture. If you can screenshot it, take a picture with your camera. You know, we usually give this to all students inside the claim, but I wanted to give you all, because I want you all literally to go today, tomorrow morning, Monday morning, and be able to apply some of this information to help your clients. You see the labs, you see that they're struggling. These are optimal ranges, not what you see on the labs. Like I said, if you were our CBC range, Nevada, I'm in the Southwest region, so the labs I get are specific to my region. Miss Sydney, you in New York, that's Northwest, Northeast region. Those ranges, normal, so-called normal ranges, are for your region. You in Florida, Southeast, that's different. Oregon, Washington State, you're Northwest. The overall lab markers ranges are different. But how do we normalize? How do we kind of centralize all our things to be on the same page no matter where we are? We use functional ranges. Now, these are not my ranges. I'm talking so y'all can get these down, right? So these are not my ranges. These are ranges from other scientists who've gone before that did the research. And even though, and then guess what? There are more new ranges coming out as we speak. There's some new research been out. But for right now, I'm gonna show you on our diagram. Normally, you can use 1.8 to 3. That's safe. But ideally, for the TSH, you want to be 1.5 to 2. The new ranges are 1.0 to 2.1. Those are new research ranges, but we're gonna go with this one for right now. This is a full thyroid profile. If somebody say I had my thyroid labs done, they say everything's normal. If you have not evaluated these markers right here, you did not have a good thyroid workup. You did not have. So we got the TSH, we got total T4, we got free T4. It's less active. This 330 it's always standard on a pattern. Nobody ever uses it though. T3 uptake, total T3, free T3, reverse T3, and don't you forget about those thyroid antibodies. And you need to check both of them, because if you see someone, I'm gonna give you a little tip here. If you see someone with an unstable TSH, 3.5, 4.2, 1.0, if their TSHs are all over the map, check their thyroid antibodies. They more than likely have some type of autoimmune thyroid conditions. It's called Hashimoto's, and of course there's grades, some others. We won't get into the minutia, but most people, they'll check a thyroid antibody. They only check the TPO. That could be negative, but if they check the thyroglobulin, the TGB antibody as well, that one may say, oh, that one may be positive. So you can be having an autoimmune thyroid only checking one, when it's the most common one, TPO. I don't know if it's cheaper or what, but it's the most common one they check, but they never check TGB, thyroglobulin antibody. So if you're going to do it, check both of them. And you see if it's positive. I know the range for TPO may be 0 to 34. In Nevada, I think it's 0 to 9. Maybe some places 0 to 34, some 0 to 45. The TG is always low. It's like less than 2 or less than 1. I don't care if the TPO is 3. If it's positive and still inside the range, I still treat it as if they're autoimmune. Why? Because something has triggered that antibody to show up in the blood. So I would still treat it. I wouldn't label it, but I would treat them as if they had some type of autoimmune condition. Y'all picking up what I'm putting down so far? We good? All right, because I get excited. I get the Louisiana come out. I get to talking fast. So slow down. Tell me slow. So put something there, say slow down if I'm going too fast. All right, got me? Okay. So what I want to give you now, again, is these are the 5 most common thyroid patterns. If you were on our CBC with the secret language of blood work with the CBC markers, and I told you don't focus on one marker. Look at the patterns. Look at certain patterns. Like I told you if it's liver, AST, ALT, GGT, alkaline phosphatase. You look at all of those as a pattern and see if they're abnormal. So with thyroid, there's 5 common patterns that you're going to run into. Actually, there's 24. There's 24 patterns of thyroid disease. I know them all. I know them by heart, but I don't want to bore you with it. But I'm going to give you the 5 most common ones, right? 5 most common out of the 24. So number 1 you're going to see is a low TSH and a low T4. When I do the other thing I'm going to do on the whiteboard, it'll make more sense to you. So just bear with me. So, but low TSH, that's thyroid suppression. There's something suppressing the signal. That's thyroid suppression. When you see a high TSH and a low T4, that's your traditional primary hypothyroidism. Now we know that 80 to 90% of all thyroid disease is what? Autoimmune. 80% of all thyroid, low thyroid, well, all autoimmune, because you can have Graves, you can have Hashimoto. So 80% of all thyroid disease is autoimmune. All right. The third pattern, we can have a low T3 uptake. You're like, what the heck is that? Normal T4 and T3, and a low free T and low free T4 and low free T3. T3 uptake. I give you a little primer on it. I wasn't going to, but what do you think of a dipstick, like an oil dipstick in the car? You dip it in and see how much oil in the car. T3 uptakes lets you know how much thyroid is available to be taken up into the cell, right? So if T3 uptake is low, that means you have too much estrogen in the system. There's too many proteins binding up that estrogen. There's too many proteins binding up that estrogen. So I mean, so that's why you're free. If estrogen makes too much thyroid binding globulins, sex hormone binding globulins. So what happens is hormones, when they travel through the blood, because they lipophilic, which means they love fat, that free hormones can't travel in the blood. They need to be attached to a protein, albumin, sex hormone binding globulin, thyroid binding globulin, things like that. So if I create a lot of proteins that bind up all the thyroid hormone in the blood, it'll be normal T4 and T3, but my free hormones will be low because I got too much proteins attaching them. Make sense? Okay. So then the next one, high T3 uptake. Normal T4, T3, but now I have a high free T4 and free T3. That means there's too much testosterone, there's too much male hormone in the system. And what that does is, et cetera, women with PCOS, for example, when there's too much testosterone in the system, it drives down those binding proteins. So guess what? There's enough hormones floating around free in the blood. That's why they will be high with a low T3 uptake. That means there's too much androgens or too much male type hormone. She's male, like PCOS, hirsutism, acne, all that kind of stuff. And then the last pattern is you have a normal T4 and a low T3. That's what we call thyroid underconversion. And you'll understand that in a minute when I go to the pattern, when I go to white blood. T4 has a converted to T3. So if my T4 is normal, but my T3 is not, is low, it's not converted. And there's reason for that. It could be a selenium deficiency, maybe, or inflammation. It could be anything. So it's not converting. These are the most common patterns you will see on all your thyroid testing. That's why I want you to have that snapshot of that. So when you see it, as long as you got at minimum TSH, free T4, free T3, and thyroid antibodies, but I like to get all of them, but at minimum get those markers, okay? And this is just a sample. I just want you to see what a sample TSH profile looks like. This is probably what you would order with your standard TSH thyroid with TSH profile here, and then with the antibodies. So as you can see, I would treat this patient as positive for Hashimoto, even though she's not, because they're positive. But you see the T3 uptake right there. So there's just in the T right here. This just gives you an example of what a thyroid panel should look like, but that's not a complete panel, but I want you to see some of the markers that we just got through talking about. Okay, so I'm gonna end that one. So that should be that for that. So now I'm going to go to this one. All right. I want to show you. Now we're going to get to some. This is what I'm going to show you now. I want you all to take this presentation for yourself and use it. Re-record it in your voice. What I'm about to go over now, you can have it. I want you to use it with your clients. If you want to work with thyroid people, or if you don't want to work with thyroid people, work with them because they got other issues. But this is a good way to get them in the door. So what I'm going to share with you, you're going to be happy because I'm going to give you this presentation. I'm going to walk you through it so it won't be so demanding and you can take it and steal it. You can legally steal it. All right. Again, my mentors taught me this and I'm like, oh, that's sweet. I got to have that. They say you're more than welcome. But I'm going to give it to you. This is a 3-day seminar I went to along with all the other crap seminars. I ain't gonna say crap because it was just, they made me the man I am today. But all the other stuff that I went through. But I'm gonna sum it up for you. And probably you could do this in less than 10 minutes on your own. You could take this and make if you want a lead generation magnet for yourself, you can take this and use it to get people in to have a discussion with them as a little health class and use it. So, all right. So I want you to do this. If you're following along, I want you on your paper, you can take, I want you to write 3 circles. All right, 3 circles. Because what we've done with thyroid, we've thought of thyroid gland as just, that's the bottom of the totem pole. We separate it as a single entity. But I want you to think of it now as a system, as a whole system. And that's what, inside these 3 circles, I want you to write the letters H, P, and T. So H is for hypothalamus. P is for pituitary. T is for thyroid. All right? H talks to P. P talks to T. All right? So how does P talk to T? Because we always do a bottom-up approach, but I'm going to show you something a little different. So P talks to T by the way of something we just talked about. TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone. The most common marker, lab marker order for thyroid health and thyroid disease is the TSH marker. Now, what's the problem with that? It's not a thyroid marker, it's a pituitary gland marker. The hypothalamus is in the brain. The pituitary is at the brain stem, in the front part between your eyeballs, right? About 1 inch or 2 in is where your pituitary gland is located. So then the thyroid gland, of course, that's in the bottom of the neck. So we know, I gave you the range for it, TSH. We know standard ranges could be 0.4 to 4.5 or 0.5 to 5, depends on where you are. I'm gonna let you all have this 1.8 to 3.0. Ideally, I told you I really love 1.5 to 2, but it's hard to keep somebody in that 0.5 range. So 1.8 to 3.0 is acceptable. So anything less than 1.8 is an issue. Anything greater than 3.0 is an issue. All right. So what are the things that could affect it? 2, especially 1 is stress. And so you say, okay, Dr. Wells, I need you to remove all the external stress in your life, and that's going to get your thyroid better. Well, guess what? I guess I'm going to be one sick thyroid man until the day I die, because ain't nowhere in the world I can remove all the external stressors from my life. Life just happened. You have kids, you have families, you have jobs, you have responsibilities. That's not the stress I'm talking about. The stress I'm talking about, these internal stressors. These things, these internal stressors that I talked about last week, I'm gonna help you remember. So stress, internal stresses that's unresolved can lead to inflammation. Inflammation, all right? So these 2 things, stress and inflammation, will suppress the TSH signal in the body. So it'll be less than 1.8, it'll be low. So that's what'll happen. So now, where do we find these internal stresses? There was a funny sounding guy about a week ago mentioned a lab test called, was it a CBC? Yes, the CBC. For God's sakes, my practitioners, please order CBC on all of your clients. Pretty please, please, with a cherry on top. Okay, pretty please. So, but not only the CBC, I want you to add the differential, right? The differential. We talked about that last week. For those of you who were on with us last week, we talked about this being liquid gold. Okay, why is my pen tripping? All right, come on, Apple pen. Let me write with my finger. Okay, DIFF. This thing is stupid. I mean, me and these things. Okay, there we go. All right, it's back. Okay, pray for me in this technology. So, all right. So CBC with diff. We talked about the different with neutrophils, lymphocytes, monocytes. We talked about bacteria, fungi, yeast, viruses. We talked about autoimmune triggers. We talked about that last. So these are the stressors you want to look for. So if you get a CBC, don't do a standard one. Get the differential. That's where the gold is. Get the differential. And that's going to lead, because if we knock out both of these puppies at the same time, the stress and the inflammation, then guess what? This system gets better. Oh, we knew the title was 4 ways to heal the thyroid without actually treating the thyroid, right? We knew that. So I'm gonna give you the 4 ways. And if you look, I just gave you 2 of them, I just gave you 2 of them, right? So, all right, so we got that thing. So when P comes down to T, the thyroid gland, T4. T4 is the most abundant hormone, the most abundant thyroid hormone that the thyroid makes, T4. All right. But that's it. But hey, that's not how the story ends. So here it is. So T4 goes to the cell. Let's draw another circle here. And the Louisiana came out here. I said here. So T3. All right. T4 is not active. So let's put not active. All right. T3 is the active one that goes to all the cells that controls. Okay, burn fat, lose weight, go to sleep, digest your food. Okay, stay warm because you're not freezing. So make sure your nails are good, make sure your hair is good. T3 is going to attach to all the cells in the body. So that thyroid chart I showed you with those interactions, it's T3 that does that. T3 is the one that goes to those cells and does that to every cell in the body. So what happens? So what does most traditional medicine do? What do? We're going to give a medication right here. And if that's what you want to do, fine. You can give meds. I don't look like meds, but it's MED. So you can give meds and fine to go right to the end. But again, that's the bottom of the totem pole. You're missing a whole big picture besides that. That's about totem pole. So what the med does say, okay, I'm gonna just give you meds and skip everything up top. So then we drive this down to like what, 0.01 or 0.0001. I've seen them as low. So that's what the meds do. If that's what you want to do, fine. You're just gonna cut off everything upstream. But I want to show you about don't cut off upstream because it's going to be important. Now, where does T4 converge T3? Where does it do it? 2 spots, in the gut and in the liver. So if I'm having an issue with my gut, if I'm bloated, if I have irritable bowel or some other kind of gas pain, whatever issues I have, then my thyroid may not work as well, right? And what if my liver is busy filtering out all the junk, the McDonald's, all the other crap that we put in our body, the air we breathe, the foods we eat, the water we drink is all contaminated. So what if my liver is overworked? So how can it convert my T4 to T3 to make my thyroid healthy? All right. So the 4 ways you're going to heal the thyroid: 1, stressors. Please, right? Okay, there we go. Stress. 2, get rid of inflammation. 3, make sure my gut is healthy. Work on my gut. Come on, you peeing, right? 4, my liver. Those are the 4. You take care of these 4 things, and you can get off your thyroid hormone? I don't care if you've been on for 20 years. You mean I've been on thyroid hormone, Synthroid for 27 years, and you mean tell me, and I've been telling my gut been messed up for a while? You mean if I just get my gut right, I could potentially get off the thyroid? You sure can. But here's the other thing, man. We talk about the thing. I'm gonna give you one more secret. Nobody talk about the gut's important. The system. Remember, I told you to think of it as a system. How does the system start? The system starts here in the hypothalamus in the brain. So how does that start? So here's another thing when we talk about mental health and things like that. To start the whole process, you need dopamine, and you need serotonin. Those are neurotransmitters, right? 95%. Why do thyroid people have problems sleeping? And why are they depressed? Serotonin is the happy pill, right? The happy neurotransmitter. And serotonin makes melatonin. So that's why they're unhappy and they can't sleep. Dopamine. That's why they just are you depressed? Do you not find joy in items, what they call it, anhedonia? Do you not find pleasure in things you used to find pleasure in? Well, that's what dopamine comes in at. Doesn't dopamine give us pleasure, reward? 95% of dopamine and 50% of serotonin comes from here, the gut. So if my gut's messed up, I can't make proper serotonin and dopamine, so I can't even get the whole process started from the hypothalamus to secrete TRH, to talk to the pituitary gland, to make TSH. Oh Lord, what is this? All right, to make TRH, to make TSH to talk to the thyroid gland to make T4. So T4 can go to my liver and my gut to make T3 to talk to my cells to make them work. All right. So also in the liver, it makes this reverse T3 is made too. Don't forget about reverse T3. I said T3, but reverse T3 is made as well. That's a whole nother lecture on reverse T3. But if you're in weight loss management and you're not doing reverse T3s, you're doing your patients in service. All right, you're doing them in service. All right. So that is how you can actually heal the thyroid in 4 steps without treating the thyroid. Now, one time that I tell you to go and give them Synthroid, I say if you want to, you can, but you don't have to. So if I can deal with the internal stressors, infections that cause inflammation, take care of those 2. Then if I can make sure the liver's healthy, they're detoxing properly, they're filtering things out, I make sure the gut is healthy, they're absorbing nutrients and all the good stuff that they need, then guess what? My TSH, once I give it those things, my TSH starts to get normal. I feel better. I'm losing weight. I'm off the medications, and you just never knew anything was wrong. Now, if it's autoimmune, you still can take this step, but we need a few more things. But still, if you get the autoimmune under control early enough, maybe I can delay the thyroid medication as well. So there you have it. Take this, and I'm sure you're going to get it recorded. So take this recording, use it to get leads into your practice. And you can tell them, hey, you want to get off that thyroid medication? Here's 4 ways we can get you cure your thyroid without we can't say cure mess. I can't. 4 ways to heal your thyroid without treating your thyroid. There you go. You got them again: stress, inflammation, liver, and gut. You take care of those 4, and you're golden. All right. There you have it. Take that presentation and go and prosper with that presentation. Okay. Any questions? Everybody got it? You good? We gravy? All right, we good. Everybody, we'll ask questions, I guess, toward the end if we have time. But yeah, but let me know. But I try to go through it slow enough to go through. But you really can do that in like 7 to 8 minutes. Literally, you can do it like 7 to 8 minutes, go through the whole thing. I just want it step by step so you guys can understand it and you could teach it. All right. Somebody asked if I prefer a specific gut test. No, I don't even get to the gut test yet. Only get to the gut test if they're really bad. Well, you know they have Crohn's, some other stuff. You can do a gut test. I like GI maps. I like the if GI what's that effects?
Yeah, effects.
GI effects. Yeah, so I like those too. So but it's whatever one you pick. They're all about the same. So half dozen. Well, they 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other. So they're all about the same. Cool. All right, Sharice. I'll turn it back over to Sharice.
All right. I always loved thyroid. I used to not think I liked thyroid at all until you really broke it down, right? And so, for how many of you learned something just now? Like, just give me a thumbs up or type it yes in the comment or something. Yeah, yeah. So I love that. So now that you've gotten this information, right, which a lot of people don't know. I mean, I laugh, it's not even funny. A lot of people don't know, but now you know this, right? So now what do you do with this information? How do we now integrate this information and incorporate it into your business or either your current business or your anticipated business, right? And so I'm going to share with you what goes hand in hand with this. And it doesn't matter if your focus, as Dr. Lane has mentioned, it doesn't matter if your focus is thyroid, because it's going to play a part in the overall care, right? But here's the thing. How many people like to have more clients, more patients, more clients? Just like raise your hand, thumbs, give me something, right? Or if you're to capacity, that's one thing. Okay, I see you. All right. So here's the thing. I'm going to share with you the secret, because there's many things that can be done, but I do want to share with you one secret to attracting clients, and particularly high ticket clients or clients for your premium services. Okay. And so if you will recall, last week at the secret language of blood work masterclass that we had last week, I shared with you 3 foundational components, right, to building a highly profitable 6 and 7 figure holistic health and functional medicine business, online and offline. Right. So if you didn't attend that, but you would like the replay, just type in replay and just type in CBC, and I'll know to have the replay sent out to you. So I won't go over any of that. Tonight I want to focus on how to attract clients to you. And so why is this important? This is so important because when you don't have mastery around this, right? Number one, you end up with either no clients, which equates to no impact, no income. If you don't have any income, that means you have no business, right? Businesses make money, right? It also is problematic because you could potentially, which I think is equally as bad as not having clients, is having the wrong clients or the wrong patients. And you might be thinking, Well, how could I have the wrong patients? Because how many of you love to have patients or clients that are non-compliant? They're like, yep, I'm coming. Either they cancel all the time, or when they do show up, they're just non-compliant. They're not doing anything that you say, or doing half what you say, or whatever. And how many of y'all love that? You just love, yeah, you don't. None of us do. None of us do. And the other piece of that too is if you don't get this part, you could have inconsistent clients. Inconsistent clients equates to inconsistent income. We talked about that roller coaster income. Nobody likes that. So this is one way that you can mitigate that, or at least decrease drastically. Okay. And so I'm going to share with you, and I shared a little bit of the story on the previous masterclass, but when I did not have a niche, right, when my pricing was inappropriate, and I'm just put it out there, most of you, if not all of you, because if you've had conversations, are drastically, you're drastically undercharging and undervaluing your years of expertise, your years of experience, the level of transformation that you're providing. You're drastically undercharging for that, right? And so was I. That's why I can say it. But so when I didn't have a niche, when my pricing was inappropriate, right? When the way that I had my program packaged, the way that I was positioned in the market, totally off. That's why I didn't have any clients. That's why I struggled in my business. I literally was on the struggle bus. I'm not going to ask any of you to I'm not going to say how many of y'all are on the struggle bus, but just know all of those pieces play a part if you are on the struggle bus. Now, after I made this suggestion, which I'm going to share with you in a second, but after I got clarity on my niche, after I adjusted my prices appropriately, after I packaged my program appropriately, right? And I had my positioning correct. I went from inconsistent, like $0 months, literally. This month I would make money. Next month I might make 2,000 or 4,000. The next month I might make zero. Like it was literally as a roller coaster. But once I got those pieces in place, I went from inconsistent income to 10, 20, 40, $60,000 months. Okay. All right. So pricing, packaging, positioning. You heard me say it just a second ago, but pricing, packaging, and positioning. These are all how you attract clients to you with ease. You have to have all these pieces in place though. And I'm going to unpack the pricing piece for you tonight because it's a huge piece of it. It's a huge piece of the equation. And not just attract clients to you, but attract clients to you with ease. Okay. All right. So one thing that is absolutely imperative that we understand is that we must understand the mindset of someone who purchases or enrolls in premium services or higher ticket services. Okay. And here's the thing, this isn't a white or black thing. This is the mentality or the mindset of people, no matter the age, no matter the race, it doesn't matter. So the first thing you want to recognize is and understand is that people who purchase higher ticket programs or premium programs, number one, they have a totally different mindset. They value their time more than anything. I'm going to repeat that. They value their time more than anything. Okay, so if you can help them get better faster, that's why we always say that. I mean, it's so true because you know what you're looking for and you're really going directly to the source, to the root of that. But when you can help people get better faster, that's what they want. And it's not about taking shortcuts. In fact, it's literally just the opposite. It's going directly to the heart of the issue or to the root of the issue, right? They don't want a bunch of line items. And I'm saying this because again, I've had conversations with lots of you and you're like, well, I'm going to make sure I include this and this and this and this and this and this and this. And the more stuff you feel like you add into it, whether most times it's like it's tangible things, right? Like I'm going to give them X amount of calls, and I'm going to give them X amount of injections, and X amount of infusions, and X amount of all the things, right? And so we think that if we add all this stuff into it, we feel like it's, increasing the value. But guess what? They don't think like that. They actually aren't even really concerned about the bullet points. They don't care, to be quite honest. They just don't care. They value what they do care about, and what they do value is a high level of service. They value the overall experience, and they value your confidence and your ability to get them better faster, and they value your expertise. Okay, that's what they value. And again, I just really want to emphasize, not that you can't add stuff into the program. You can. You do want to make sure that it has to fit in, but that's not where you need to be focusing, right? And so those are the features. You want to be focusing on the benefits. There's a difference, right? Most of us focus on the features: 5 calls, meal plan, whatever are the inclusions of your program. Those are the features. They are most concerned with the benefits. So can you see now, if you've been trying to enroll clients into your programs or your offers or your services, and you've been focusing on the features, can you see why there might be a disconnect and why you might not be attracting the clients to you with ease, right? So benefits, what does that mean? What does that even look like? So benefits. So instead of focusing on, like I said, the X amount of calls that they get or X amount of sessions or whatever, focus on, we were talking about weight loss a little while ago, focus on, them being able to walk up the stairs without getting short of breath. That's the benefit. Okay. Particularly if every time they walk up one stair, they're out of breath. And how many places do you know only has one stair? None. There's always multiple stairs, right? Focus on, again, a benefit, them being able to play with their kids or their grandkids, right? Without having to take off a whole week to recuperate because they're so exhausted. Okay. Again, that's the benefit. Maybe if you're dealing with, people maybe who are postmenopausal, actually this could really apply to anybody, but wanting to have sex, right? Maybe they have a decreased libido, wanting to have sex, maybe wanting to have sex without being self-conscious. Okay, maybe again, this is weight loss, or it can really apply to multiple things. And so those are some examples of the benefits. You want to be highlighting the benefits and selling, if you will. I don't even want to use the word selling, but you want to be highlighting and emphasizing the benefits and not the features. Okay, this is what they value. This is what they find important. This is why they will enroll in your higher priced or premium services or programs. Okay. The other thing is pricing. Now, believe it or not, pricing has a huge effect on who you attract. It has a huge effect on the clients that you attract, or the potential clients that you attract. So when you undervalue your IP, your intellectual property, which so many nurse practitioners, people in healthcare in general, and there's so many reasons for that. It's very multifaceted, very long story. We don't have time for it tonight. But when you undervalue your intellectual property, which is everything up in here, which is you have a lot of it, right? You find yourself taking on more work, which means taking on more patients or clients, and still not creating the life or the lifestyle that you really desire, right? You end up creating a job that's disguised as a business, but instead of you running it, it's running you. How many of you guys can relate to that? Because I know that's what was happening when I first started my business, okay? And what happens is, because you've underpriced your program and your services, right? You end up having to take on more clients, which leads to burnout, right? Which leads to you tapping out. You're like, you know what? I'm out of here. This is not what I signed up for, right? And then ultimately, the world gets robbed of your gifts and talents and brilliance. I keep mentioning impact, right? And so I want you to write this down. Your price is your statement to the world around your confidence in your skill set. I will repeat that. And if somebody wants to type it in the chat, by all means, go for it. Your price is your fee, your price, right? The investment for your program. Your price is your statement to the world around your confidence in your skill set. Okay. Here's a little paradigm shift for you. I want you to think about this in terms of your pricing. Because what we typically do is we think, okay, well, when I used to work in the hospital, I used to make X amount an hour. And so now I'm going to, even if I double that, that's better, or half, increase it by 50, whatever. And so we try to base our current pricing on what we used to make. Here's the problem with that. Actually, there's several problems with that, but one of the biggest problems with that was you were already underpaid there. I don't care how much money you make, they still underpaid you. Okay, so now you're basing your current pricing on on what it was previously, and you were already underpaid. Okay, not the greatest thing to do, but I get it, and I did the same thing initially. Okay, so I want you to think about it this way. I want you to think about what is the lifetime value of them working with you. What is a lifetime value of them working with you? Okay. And so I want to share a story with you because I think this really drives it home. So one of my clients, my holistic health coaching clients, Miss Dorothy, that is really her name. She gives me permission to share. I actually wrote about her in the book, but when she came to me, and she actually reached out to me on social media, right? So how many of you would love for someone just to slide into your DMs and say, I need to work with you? Because she didn't say that. Literally, that's what she said. When she sent me a DM, she said, I need to work with you. When can we talk? I'm like, well, okay then. Now, how many of you would like to get that? Like, seriously. And so, yeah, you're like, yeah, I would love that. So we set a time to talk. I set her up for a consult. We had a conversation. She said, listen, I have, I'm type 2 diabetic. She was on 2 different meds. She said, if her A1C was 11 at the time. And she said, my doctor said, when I come back in 3 months, if it's not down, then they're going to have to put me on insulin, or they're going to consider putting me on insulin. She goes, I don't want that. Everybody in my family has gone down that route. Everyone has all of my siblings, like my parents had type 2 diabetes and hypertension. They all died. They both died. My siblings, same thing, all of them. And if they're still alive, if they're still with us, they have either have had a toe amputated, either above the knee, below the knee, they're on dialysis, they're blind. She said, I don't want that. I do not want that. I need to work with you. I said, okay, all righty, let's do this, right? And so she enrolled in my program. At the time, my program was a 12-month program. It was 15,000. And so, but I want you to think about this. I want you to think about this. Don't get caught up on that. We'll circle back. but I want you to think about this for a second. I want you to think about, again, we're talking about lifetime value, right? How would, if she ended up losing a leg, or being on dialysis 3 or 4 days a week, or going blind, right? How does that affect her relationships with her family? How would that affect her relationship with her partner? How would that affect her impact in the world? Because we're all here to make an impact, right? But can you see how your impact has a ripple effect on their impact, right? And so if you end up undercharging, again, for your services, you end up burning out, you end up tapping out, and then the world gets robbed of your gifts, right? And so why you might be thinking, so, but why? Like, why is the pricing, like, what is it about it? So I'll give you another example. So if I told you that you could purchase a brand new 2025 Range Rover for $15,000, it's a luxury vehicle for $15,000. By the way, it's a $110,000 vehicle minimum $110,000 vehicle. But if I told you you could purchase it for $15,000, right? Or if I told you, you know what, I have a spanking brand new, authentic, genuine Louis Vuitton, never full bag for $300, and it's genuine. And by the way, that's a $2,000 purse. And here's the thing: you don't even have to be into luxury vehicles or luxury handbags. I want you to just follow me with this, though, because you'll get this. If I told you that, though, would you even want it? Like, really, before you even answer, like, would you really want a vehicle that costs $110,000, but it's on sale? And by the way, they don't even go on sale, but it's on sale for $15,000. Wouldn't your first question be like, well, what's wrong with it? Like, why are they selling a $110,000 vehicle for $15,000? That doesn't even make sense. That's crazy, right? And even with the purse, would you be like, it can't be real? Like, you can't tell me it's a real purse for $300. It's real, a Louis Vuitton real genuine leather purse for $300. No. And so that's exactly that confusion, or that disconnect, or that concern. Like, that's exactly what happens when your clients or your potential clients are either sitting across from you or looking at your website, and they're like, well, she only charges $99, and she's saying that she can reverse my chronic disease and get me off of meds. There's this disconnect. It just doesn't compute. And so what ends up, and the reality of it is, no, you can't. And $99 is a little bit of a stretch, but a lot of your pricing, it's like you might be barely breaking even, or you might be even underwater. And the reality of it is, if you're really working to get them healthy, get them better faster, right? The functional lab test costs more than that. Even if the protocols cost more than that, right? And so the thing of it is your pricing reflects the value that you offer, and they recognize that. This is all things that are just going on in their head. And so if you find that, again, you're not attracting clients, this might be one of the reasons. There are a handful of other things that you absolutely want to have in place to attract clients, but this is a big one, okay? And here's also the other thing. You show up differently, and they show up differently. And what I mean by that is you end up attracting better quality patients. And what I mean, they're not better people, not that, so let's not misconstrue that. But when I say better quality, they show up, with more commitment, they're more compliant, and they get better results. They get better outcomes. And because of that, guess what? Because they get such phenomenal results, they can't stop referring you. They can't stop, speaking your name. Your name is always coming out of their mouth. That's beautiful. Because now you have this beautiful referral business that kicks in. It's a cycle. You've created this cycle. And so again, your pricing automatically attracts your ideal clients to you. Okay. And let's do some quick math on this, right? Because again, it's gotta all make sense. But again, my holistic health clients, when I very, very first started, well, not when I initially first started, but after I got my pricing together, my programs and all that together, it was my program was 18,000 for the year. If you did monthly payments, or if they wanted to pay in full, it was 15,000, right? It was 12-month program, so they could pay 1,500 a month times 12 months. Okay. Here's the thing. This is one of the ways that you can literally make quantum leaps in your business in terms of your income. Yes, impact, but also in terms of your income, right? And so here's the thing: 7 clients times 15,000. You can price your program however you want to, but I'm just showing you the math on this. 7 clients or 7 patients, 15,000, that's 105,000. That's 6 figures. And that's how I was able to actually hit 6 figures in 9 months. And then it was, well, again, so 6 figures in 9 months. And then like that very next year, like we tripled to 300,000, right? Without working crazy hours. So this is what I really want you guys to get, because we're so used to, I was talking to somebody last week, in fact, and she was saying how she would love to have 800 patients. And I said, do you want 800 patients, or do you, because you just love seeing that many people a day, like 20, 30, 40 people a day? Or is it that you want the income that's going to be generated with your current business model from 800 patients? And she was like, well, yeah, that part. I want 800 patients because of what it's going to equate to, dollars and cents wise. But what if you could shift your business model, create a program? And I'm not saying your program has to be 15,000. It could be whatever you want it to be. But, and we help you do this, by the way, inside the program. But bottom line is, if you could still generate, 100,000, 200,000, and you're not working 40, 50 hours, but better yet, you're working 20, because that was my schedule, literally, and it still is to this day. I work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And not 12-hour shifts like I used to at the hospital. I'm off, Friday through Monday, right? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. My day typically doesn't even start till 2 o'clock, and it ends around 7:30-ish. And even still, it's not back-to-back appointments. So think about this. If you could work 3 days a week, 3, 4 days a week, right? And work for 4, 5, 6 hours a day, but still make 10, 20, 30, 40, 60,000 a month. Would you rather do that, or would you rather be burnt out seeing 800 patients? And it's a shift. And again, I get it, because that's what's been modeled to us. So what we model, what we see. But there's a better way. There's a better way. There's a different way. There's a way that's even more aligned with what it is that you truly want to create. Okay. And again, during our work together, if any of you decide to take the next step with us, this is something that we work on like immediately. Okay. All right. So let me check the chat really quickly, see if there's any questions before I head to question 3. Definitely not the car. It's like, definitely not the car, right? You're like, what's wrong with that car? How you, Range Rover for 15,000? Come on. There's got to be something wrong with that. You already know.
Question,
All right.
you always have to pay for a car. The car is the gift that always keeps on giving in terms of taking your money. So cars are not a gift to me.
Right. Right.
I have to pay for the upkeep, the gas, and
But
everything
at
else.
least pay for what you want, though, right? But please don't buy a luxury vehicle for 15,000. There's no such thing as a luxury vehicle for 15,000. And again, I use that as an example. You don't have to be into luxury vehicles, but you get the point. We all get the point, right? No matter what you apply it to. All right. So your prices, you say, oh, thanks for typing that out. Thank you, Beverly, for typing that out. Breaking generational curses. Absolutely. Breaking generational curses. Yes. And so now let's shift into this third piece of our equation today, which is what the top 1% successful holistic health business owners do that allows them to soar. Do y'all want to know that? Do you want to know what they do? Type in the chat if you want to know what they do. And here's the thing, it's not even what they do. It is what they do, but it's how they think. More importantly, it's how they think more importantly. And the big thing is, it's that they shift. If we're going to talk about the doing part of what they do, they shift their relationship with fear. That's what they do. That's what, and that might sound like, oh, easy enough. Okay, let me unpack this for you. Okay. So what they do is they shift their relationship with fear. And that in and of itself allows them to soar. But how do you do that? Right? And for some of you, it's fear of success. Some of you, it's fear of failure. It's one or the other. It could be both. If we're being quite honest, it could potentially be both. But let me tell you, no matter which end of the spectrum you're on, it stifles you and it prevents you from soaring. It prevents you from going to the next level. How do I know? Because you would be at your next level already, right? And there's always next levels, but you would be at your next level already. Okay, so let's talk about this for a second. We're going to unpack it. So whenever you're trying to break through something, right? Go start something new, go to your next level. Whenever you get a new idea, right? You get, and I'm going to draw this for you. I'm such a beautiful artiste, not really, but anyway. But whenever you're creating this breakthrough, whenever you get a new idea, like, oh, I'm going to launch my business, or oh, I'm going to start integrating functional medicine into how I work with my patients or my clients, or oh, I'm going to start this I'm going to enroll in this program, or oh, this beginning of the year, oh, I'm going to lose weight, right? I'm going to eat healthier, I'm going to go to the gym. So that's a new idea. Whenever we get a new idea, oh, I'm going to hire a coach, right? Whenever we get a new idea, what happens is that new idea, it populates our conscious mind. So I want you to draw along with me. Just, you got a piece of paper, I want you to draw just a circle. That circle represents our mind. Okay. And now I want you to draw a line in the middle of our mind. Just a line. It doesn't have to be equal, just draw a line across. And put a C at the top for your conscious mind, and put an S at the bottom for subconscious. So conscious mind and subconscious mind. Okay. Now, here's the really interesting thing. Our conscious mind, I'm going to write it over here. Our conscious mind only makes up 2 to 4% of our decision making. That's it. 2 to 4% of our decision making. Okay. Our subconscious mind makes up 96 to 98%. Our subconscious mind, right, makes up 96, 90% of everything. It has that much influence on our decisions. That's a lot. So then when we get a thought, and we're going to represent our thought, this new thought, right? So when we get a new thought, that's entering our conscious mind, we're just going to make it an X. Just make that an X. That's the new thought. I'm going to enroll in a program. I'm going to hire a coach. I'm going to start incorporating functional medicine. I'm going to learn functional medicine, whatever the case may be. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to eat healthy today. Okay. That's the conscious thought. That's the X. Okay. So this is what happens. The issue is this little X in our conscious mind has to penetrate this. It has to get down into our subconscious. Sounds easy enough, right? Here's the problem. In our subconscious, in our subconscious is where our old programming is, where our past failures are, where our past experiences are, where our traumas are. So we got all these little, I'm just gonna put lots of little X's. Past failures, past traumas, past experiences, all the things. Those don't look like X's, but those are little X's. All right. So this grand idea, new idea that you have, has to get into your conscious mind, has to get from your conscious into your subconscious. And it's battling all those other little X's, all the emotional experiences, emotional traumas, all the things. All your prior programming is sitting in here in your subconscious, literally hundreds of thousands of programs of old programming, right? Sitting down in your subconscious that this one little idea has to break through. You see where I'm going with this, right? So what happens is that old programming, all this old programming is sitting in your subconscious running the show, running you, running me. It's running the show because again, it's responsible for 96, 98% of our decisions, right? So what happens is, I'm gonna put this down for a hot second. Hopefully y'all got that beautiful illustration. So what happens is people will step into a new idea, right? Step forward, right? And then that old programming, all of this starts to, it's still running them. It starts to kick in. Prime example, again, we're in January, so this couldn't be better timing. Physical fitness. We're going to the gym. We're doggone it. This year is our year. We're going to work out. And so when you go to, if any of y'all have been to the gym this month in the last, 26 days, the gym is full. The gym parking lot is full. In fact, you got to park all the way back by the street. You're not even nowhere near the door. You got to park all the way back by the street and hike into the gym. And then when you get into the gym, all the machines are taken, all the weights. It's packed, right? That's people taking that step forward, that new idea. What happens though 2 months later? Go back to the gym in March. What's going to be happening in March? You can almost park right at the door, walk in, right? Because that old programming, all of this stuff kicks back in. Okay, so that's why you have experience in the past, and we all have experienced it. 1 step forward, 2 steps back, 1 step forward, and like, what? But I really want to do it this time. I really want to do this, right? But 1 step forward, 2 steps back, because all the old programming kicks in. This is what happens, right? So now, when you're going through this experience, the reason that this happens is that as soon as you get this new idea, the new thing that you're saying you're wanting to do, move forward your business, integrate this, whatever. As I mentioned before, launch your business, all the things, start a new program, whatever. As soon as you have that idea, what usually happens is you end up manifesting some circumstance, and that circumstance will create fear, doubt, and worry. How many of you can relate to this? We've all experienced it. No one is exempt, right? We may not have known what it was at the time, but so what happens is we start to have this fear, this doubt, and this worry. Fear, doubt, and worry about the new idea. So say the new idea was, okay, I'm going to start going to the gym, start working out, or whatever the case may be. Well, the new circumstance that you might, manifest is maybe you end up with a minor injury, a sprained ankle or something minor, right? Some type of minor physical thing. Well, now that circumstance is going to create fear, doubt, and worry around that decision. And here's the thing, it doesn't matter what the decision is. We're just using physical fitness because it's January. We can all relate to this, right? So now you're in this fear, doubt, and worry. Oh my God, I'm not gonna hit my weight loss goals, or I'm not gonna, whatever, right? So now the next phase, and no one skips phases, by the way, the next phase is rationalization. And I really want you to write that word out, rationalization. And when you really break it down, it's rational lies. Rational lies, it's lies that we tell ourselves, right? So this is where we start saying, well, you know what? It is the 26th. I made it 26 days. I literally was having a conversation with my son two days ago. And he said in January, it was going to be a dry January. He wasn't going to drink at all. And so he made it to the 18th. And then, so I asked him the other day, I said, well, so how's it going? He was like, oh, I made it to the 18th. And I said, and then he's like, and then one of my friends asked me out and we went to a bar. And I'm like, and so I said, did you restart? And he was like, well, no, because it was, 18 days, that's pretty good. I'm like, that was not the goal. So start rationalizing. He had all types of, but it's fine. And you know how we do, right? We make it okay. Rational lies, right? And so anyway, we do that with many things, and business owners will start to do this as well. Okay. And so again, we'll say, oh, I did it I worked out for 26 days. I did okay. Here's what happens after rationalization. Guess what? We move into another phase called blame, B-L-A-M-E, blame. And this is when, and he even started doing this is when we start blaming something outside of ourselves of why we're not getting the outcome that we want, why we haven't increased our pricing. Oh, it's the administration. It's who's in office. Oh, it's the weather. Oh, it's the kids. If my kids are a little bit older, I could launch this this part of my business. I could scale my business if my kids were older, if they were in school, or if they were in college, or whatever. Something outside of you. If the economy was better, if someone else was in office. All these external circumstances outside of us. Blame the weather, blame anything. But here's the thing, you end up blaming anything that's outside of yourself. Here's the problem. Once we get into this blame phase, you become powerless. And here's the thing, it's not that you render yourself powerless. No one's doing it to you, you're doing it to yourself. You render yourself powerless. And now you're saying, you're creating this result or this outcome, or you're delaying this result or this outcome because of something else outside of you, something else besides you. Okay, so now you've become powerless by no one's other hands but yours. You have rendered yourself powerless. And then what ends up happening is the final phase, which is your old programming kicks back in. Your old programming kicks back in. Okay, and then you end up right back where you started, right back where you were, which is right where you are, right? And that's the whole cycle. The new idea gets created, right? You manifest a circumstance that causes fear, doubt, and worry. From there, you move into rationalization, which you just rationalize, and then you end up in blame, in a blame state, which you blame everything outside of you. If this was like this, then I could. And then you stop. You stop dead in your tracks. And now people always ask me, you might be wondering, okay, well, wait, then how do I break this? Like, how do I break this cycle? Y'all wondering? Like, how do you break through this? Or how do you prevent this? Here's the thing, you don't prevent it, but you can break through it. Okay, because it always happens whenever you're about to level up. It never happens when you're just smooth sailing, moving and grooving, nothing, nothing new is happening. Never happens. The minute you get that new thought, that's the initiator. Whenever you get that new thought, that's when this starts to happen. Okay, so how do you navigate this? What do you do? Well, the answer lies in that very, very first stage. Very first stage. It's when you end up in that fear, doubt, and worry. So when you start feeling fear, doubt, and worry about a decision, this is when you recognize, you're like, Sharice, okay, I see what's going on here. Okay, so when fear, doubt, and worry gets created, the reason fear, doubt, and worry gets created is because a rule that you live by is being triggered. Okay, a rule that you live by is being triggered. It's a rule. And so here's the thing. That's what you have to end up becoming aware of. You have to become aware, oh, fear, doubt, and worry is here. Okay, there's a rule here, right? So the rule might be, so for those of you who are like, what kind of rule might it be? The rule might be around how boldly you allow yourself to show up, how confident you allow yourself to be, how visible you allow yourself to be, showing up online or showing up, whatever, even offline, going to different events. That might be a rule that you're like, not gonna do that. It might be the risks, your rule might be the risks that you allow yourself to take, or perceived risks, okay, that you allow yourself to take. It might be rules about success. Well, if I do this, then I'm gonna get successful really fast, and it's gonna be too much too fast. And is it? That might be your rule, though. That might be a subconscious fear, right? Maybe it should take longer. I shouldn't be this successful, until I'm 5 years, 10 years, 15 years in business. That's a rule. But who created the rule? You did. Okay. And here's the thing, that rule, whatever rule it is that's being triggered, it probably served you well at a certain point in time. Probably. But what you have to become aware of is really ask yourself the question, is this rule serving me now? Or is it limiting me? Is it stifling my growth? Is it stifling me and scaling my business? So these are the questions that you want to start asking. It might be a rule about money, right? For me, I will tell you, I had a rule around money. I'll tell you about it in a second. But either way, the rule is in your subconscious, right? And it may not have even been put in place by you. It may have been most probably, put in place when you were even a kid. So when you think about rules and breaking rules, nobody wants to break a rule. No, because then you're perceived as bad, right? But again, where did the rule come from? Was it your rule, or was it imposed upon you to either keep you safe or maybe to keep you in line, keep you compliant? I don't know. There's lots of variations here. But here's the thing. The point of the story is, or the point of this is that there is a rule that's being triggered, and the only way to get the breakthrough is to break the rule. That does not make you a bad person. Again, the rule may not even be serving you anymore. Probably isn't serving you anymore, if we're being honest. So you have to become aware of that. You have to become aware of what the rule is that's being triggered, okay? And then you have to be willing to break the rule. It's your rule. Are you going to get in trouble? No, it's your rule. But you see how all of this lies in our subconscious, right? You're a good girl if you don't, or a good boy if you don't break the rules. But again, whose rules are these, and where do they come from? Are they mine? Are they stifling me now? Were they for my benefit at one time, and now that I'm a full grown ass adult, this doesn't apply anymore? If that's the case, break the doggone rule, because it's not serving you anymore. Okay. Again, I mentioned sometimes it's a money rule. I'm going to share this story with you really quickly, and then we'll wrap. But I'll never forget. This was my first investment. It was a business coaching program, and I had invested in other programs before, but never at this level. And at this particular time, it was a $30,000 program, and I was like, ain't no ain't no way in the world. I don't have $30,000. Like, I don't have it, right? And so immediately I started going into this fear, doubt, and worry. But here's the crazy part. And I know you guys are going to get this. The crazy part is everything that I needed to really move my business forward, this program had it. So it was like complete, it was a complete perfect match. But yet, and I knew it, right? But when it showed up, I was like, yeah, I was like literally almost in freak out mode. I was in freak out mode, if I'm being really, really honest. And again, that fear, doubt, and worry started showing up. And so here's the thing. I was like, I can't do it. No way. There's no way I can do this, because I had a rule around money. I was like, I don't have it, or at least I thought I didn't, until I sat there for a hot second, and I was like, wait a minute, Sharice, this is what you said. Like every day, you're like, man, if I just knew how to do this, if I just knew how to do this, I just knew how to do this, then I'll be further along. And then here it comes. Every single thing that you said appeared, and so I was like, okay, I see that. Like I'm having this conversation with myself. I'm like, okay, I see that. And then I was like, okay, so I got to do this. I don't know how, but I got to do this. And so when I tell you in that instance, when I said, okay, I'm in, I said this to myself, by the way, I'm like, okay, I'm in. And then literally within like that next second, and I'm literally was within the next second, I was like, oh my gosh, I had totally forgotten that I had put $1,500 off to the side for something. Now that something was several months down the line. It hadn't come up yet, but just 1 second earlier, I was like, I don't have any money. The next second, once I said, yeah, I'm going to do this, right? I'm going to break. I'm going to shift this, right? Literally, I remembered, it came to my remembrance, you got $1,500 sitting over there. I was like, oh my God. Okay, and I'm like, okay, but here's the thing. $1,500 was not $30,000. So I said, don't focus on $30,000, just focus on the deposit. The deposit was actually $2,500. But still, it was only $1,500. So I was still $1,000 short. So then I started thinking, okay, wait, what can I do? Like what's what? I remembered I had two credit cards. I did not think I had any credit availability on either one. I honestly didn't think so, but I said, just call and see. Literally, one card had 500, the other card, when I say exactly 500, they both had exactly 500. So 500 and 500 was 1,000. I had 1,500 that stashed away. That was $2,500. And I was like, oh, what are the odds that I literally have the exact amount to, but again, I had that fear, doubt, and worry, but I stepped into it. And thank goodness I did, because if I hadn't, I am 1,000% sure I would not have created those quantum leaps in my business that I have. And I wouldn't have the business that I have today, because it was that program. And the interesting part about this whole thing is that after a year, I got what I needed. Like I said, I'm moving and grooving my business. That very next year, of course, once you master something, there's always something else to master, right? And so that very next year, I needed, X, Y, and Z, and there was an opportunity for me to invest in this program, and it was $75,000, but I made the investment without even blinking an eye, because you end up start having this. It's like this muscle memory kicks in. Once you break that rule once, that wasn't even helping you in the first place, then you're like, it becomes easier, and that's what prevents you from holding yourself back. And for you, it may not be a money thing. It might be, like I said, some of the other examples that I used. But bottom line is, if you'll know what it is when you ask yourself, okay, what's being triggered? What rule is being triggered? And just ask yourself. And then the answer to that, or the way that you break through that is, the breakthrough comes from breaking the rule. Okay. Why is this important? Why did I even share this with you? It's because I want every single one of you, to understand this cycle. It's called the cycle of stuck. It's also called the dip. But in any event, I want you to know this, so that way you can be acutely aware of what happens subconsciously when you step out to do something different. Launch your business, enroll in a program, add on a service, increase your pricing, all the things. And remember, this happens anytime you're about to up level, right? This is what the top 1% successful business owners in general, but specifically holistic health business owners, do, that allows them to soar. They recognize it at the beginning stage when they have that fear, doubt, and worry. They ask themselves, okay, what rule is being triggered? They get the breakthrough by breaking the rule, and they soar. It's kind of like they take their foot. It's like they have their foot on the foot on the brake and the gas. And it's like, okay, it's either one or the other. It's going to be the gas or the brake. And so they take the foot off the gas and they soar. Okay. And so when you start so I talked about shifting your relationship with fear. It's just understanding what it is. So whenever you have that fear, lean in, right? Don't allow it to hold you back. That's what successful business owners do. They don't allow that fear to hold them back. Okay. All right. Let me check the chat. I don't know if there was any. I don't think they'll probably never serve me Sally. Right. Kimberly, right. Sydney says, do tell. I know when you type that, when I said, do you want to know? You're like, do tell. Okay. So here's the thing. We have discussed a lot tonight, you guys. Dr. Orlando shared with us 4 ways, actually more than 4 ways, to heal the thyroid without actually treating the thyroid. I talked about the secret, one of the secrets to attracting high-ticket clients, and I shared with you what the 1% successful business owners, holistic health business owners do that others don't do, that allows them to soar, right? And the bottom line is there's only so much that we can cover in a 1.5 hour time period together. But I will say this, because of all of this, right? All the struggles that Dr. Lannis and I both had to navigate, right? If we can help any of you make, if we can help make this easier for any of you, help elevate you with some direction, help you shift some things that you may not have even been aware of that's preventing you from really growing your business and developing your business and really getting to that next level for you, whatever your next level is, then what we would like to do is give you an invitation. Would that be okay? Yes. Okay, I see some heads nodding. Okay, great. All right, so first, what I want to do is I want to ask you a quick question. I want to ask everybody a couple of quick questions. First of all, who enjoyed tonight? Type in the chat, who enjoyed tonight? Or give me a thumbs up, something. Who got something from it? And actually, I want you to type in what has been your biggest takeaway. What has been your biggest takeaway? I want you to type it in the chat. Thank you. You're welcome. Desiree, I see your thumbs up. Nell, I see your heart. Pamela, I see your thumbs up. Awesome sauce. What's been your biggest takeaway? I need to see something here. Otherwise, I feel like y'all may have just walked away and y'all didn't hear a thing that Dr. Alanis or myself said. Waiting and reading. There were so many things. Okay, just one, Kimberly. Just one. Lifetime value. That's huge. Yes, lifetime value is huge. It really shifts the way you think about pricing your services. It's not about pricing per hour, but that's what we're used to. That's what's been modeled. So that's what we continue to do until until we learn something different or learn a better way, a better model. The labs and the phases. Yes. Focus on benefits and value. Yes. So much. Narrow it down now. Okay. Verbalizing the 4 ways and simplifying it. Yes. These are good. Okay. So great. So let me ask you this, breaking your own rules. Y'all, that's a game changer. Let me tell you something. So here's the thing. You can't unhear what you heard, right? You cannot unhear what you heard. And the reason why I point that out is because benefits and features, I see it, is because now when that fear, doubt, and worries shows up around anything, you're going to be like, oh, wait a minute, hold on. Cherie said something about this. Okay, wait. And then you start really introspect, you go within, you analyze, okay, what's really going on here and what's really being triggered here? And what is it preventing me from doing? What is it preventing me from accomplishing? That's a game changer right there. Watch how when you literally start doing that, watch how things just literally, everything around it things just start popping because you're not standing in your own way anymore. All right, how to push through fear, doubt, and worry to move beyond limitations and that nothing can change without mind shift. I'm just gonna watch me drop my microphone. Okay, no, I'm not. I feel like I take it off, it's gonna fall. Okay, just act like I dropped my mic. That literally is a mic drop. Okay, benefits versus features. Excellent, great. Okay, so now, lifetime value, fear, doubt, and worry, the 3 circles, stress, inflammation, gut, and I can't remember without my notes. That's all right. You nailed it, Kimberly. If you did all that without notes, that's pretty doggone good. Okay, so now my next question to you is, how many of you are not yet making $20,000 per month consistently in your business, but would like to? Okay, again, you can do a thumbs up or you can type in me or whatever, liver. Oh yeah, thanks, Dr. Landis. Right, all right. Oh, everyone's making 20K a month? Great. Okay, me. Okay, so at least one person. Okay, oh, Sydney's like, nah. I love nonverbal. Even the expression on your face was priceless. Okay, I see the me's coming through. How many of you would like to, not even close. Okay, how many would like to, like for real? Like you would like to get to 20,000 like really quickly and then just even scale beyond that. Okay, there's a saying that slow is painful because all y'all will get there eventually. But the eventually piece, right? So there's a saying that slow is painful, fast is fun. It really is. And so who would like a roadmap, if you will, to get to 20K months? Roadmap to 20K months, anybody? Yeah. Okay. So what I'm going to do, because remember I said at the very, very beginning, if you stay to the end, there's a gift. There's a couple of gifts actually, and you guys stay to the end. So it's gift time. So here we go. I'm going to drop a link to, let me actually share this with you really quickly. Hold on. I am going to share this with you. Where is it? Okay, let me share my screen. I am going to, where's the share button? I don't know. Maybe I won't share my screen. Maybe I'll just tell you, which is fine too. There it is, share. Okay. So we have an upcoming masterclass and no one knows about this masterclass yet. It has not been announced. However, it is a 20K masterclass, how to build a $20,000 per month functional medicine and holistic health coaching business. How many of you would like to attend that? It is a free masterclass that no one knows about yet. Yep. Okay, great. I'm going to drop the link for you. Please hold. I will drop the link for you. Let me grab it. And you guys can go ahead and register before anyone else registers. And so here we go. I'm going to drop it in the chat. All right. Bam. You should see it coming through now. There we go. All right. So there is the link to register for the free masterclass. That is gift number 1 for all of you for attending live. It pays to attend live. All right. The second gift, and it's a thank you gift again for attending live, is a complimentary 45-minute prosperous practitioner session. And what this is a session with you and I, or Dr. Landis and you, whichever one of us, with you, to really understand where you are in business, right? And basically there's 3 things that we'll do on this call together. One, we're going to understand where you are in like really understand the vision that you have for your business, but we're going to look at where you are now. We're going to help you identify what's preventing you from getting there, to getting where you want to go. So where you are now, where you want to go, but what's even more importantly, what's preventing you from getting there. And then the third thing is how you can start using what you use tonight, what you learned tonight from Dr. Landis and myself, how you can start using this now in your current business or your developing business. Most of you, I think you all already have a business, okay? So those are 3 things that we are going to address with you on your complimentary 45-minute session call. So if you would like a call, if you would like a prosperous practitioner session, simply type in the word yes. You can just simply type in the word yes, okay? All right, I see your yeses. I see your yeses. And then what I'm going to do is, let's see, there are 20 of you guys on right now. I will tell you that we do not have 20 openings. I see your yeses. Okay, awesome. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the link. I'm going to grab the link. I'm going to drop it in the chat. For those of you who just want to grab a, for those of you who just want to grab a time slot right now, because again, there's 20 of you on. And for those of you watching the replay, you might not be able to take advantage of this piece, but for those that are on live, go ahead, click on the link, grab your spot. Grab a spot that works for you, and that way it's already done. You don't have to worry about that. So that's gift number 2 for you guys being here tonight. Okay. And then the final thing is, and this is the big gift, the really big gift. And this is really just for one person. I mentioned this at the very beginning, one person. And this is for one person that is really ready, that's really ready to make quantum leaps, really hungry to really get their business to the next level. Like they can't even imagine going another second without support. Okay. And so one of the things that Dr. Landis and I both love to do is to be generous. That's why we do free masterclasses, right? We love giving free value, right? We love being generous with information. But I want you, and I want you to imagine if you've gotten a lot of value out of this masterclass, right? If you got a lot from the Secret Language of Bloodwork masterclass, and those are free, I want you to think about I want you to even imagine what it's like inside of the actual program. What it's like inside of the actual Prosperous Practitioner program. If you got all this for free, what's the paid version like, right? And so again, this is only for those who are live. I'm going to share my slides here. Again. Well, I almost hung up on you. That was not good. Okay, here we go. There's got to be a better way. All right, here we go. I'm not gonna even try to blow this up because I feel like whenever I blow it up, it does something weird. So can y'all see my screen? We're gonna leave it just like this. I'm not gonna even put it in presenter mode because weird things happen when I do that. All right, so we talked about the 20K months. Everyone, I do believe, went ahead and scheduled, those of you who wanted thank you. Those of you who wanted a process practitioner session, you went ahead and scheduled that. Now, the next thing is I am gonna share with you the process practitioner call. Oh, excuse me, the process practitioner program for those of you that are wondering, that are curious, that are like, oh, okay. And I'm gonna, again, offer one person something really, really, really special. So that being said, the process practitioner program, it is a hybrid program. It's clinical and business. So you've got the root cause clinical education led by Dr. Orlandis, and you've got the business development piece led by me. And then you've got this the mindset piece of it that's integrated throughout the entirety, really from both of us. Okay, this is a 6-month program. Let me show you everything that you get. Okay, so what do you get? You get weekly clinical education and business development sessions. Now, for those of you, and I'm just kind of curious, how many of you like to go at your own pace? You like to kind of just dive in. You don't want to have to wait. You don't want to really want to have to wait. You want to just dive in and get stuff done. Yeah. Yeah. For some of you, yeah, I see. Okay. I see your heart there. We have intentionally set up the program where it is asynchronous. And for those of you who like to be paced along, we have that included as well. So that's the way we structure the program. If you're the type of person that wants to just jump in and just start watching all the business modules, you know, pick and choose, like, oh, I need to know social media marketing. Let me learn that today. And next week I want to learn about, you know, hormones or whatever. You can go totally out of order. It doesn't matter. You can do that. Or for those of you who like systematic, which is kind of like me, every single week you get a weekly drop. The first 6 weeks is all clinical focused, and I'm going to break that down for you in the next slide in just a second. And then the following 6 weeks is all business development, and then you move into the mastermind, which again, I'll break that down for you in a sec. You also have monthly VIP deep dive sessions. And so these deep dive sessions are on advanced trainings, right? So I'm gonna show you in just this, I'll show you in just a second. So just know that there are deep dive sessions into more advanced clinical trainings and more advanced business development trainings, okay? The other great thing is that you have PRN support from me and or Dr. Elena. So if you need us for whatever in between sessions, because we meet every week on Thursdays, that's the second bullet point. We meet every week on Thursdays for live Q&A. So whatever questions you have, whether they're clinical questions, whether they're business development questions, we got you. You bring those questions and we got you. And then we do a live case study. So if you guys were on the Secret Language of Blood Work Masterclass, where we went through literally labs, whether they're your labs or your new patients' labs or new clients' labs, you bring that live to the case study. Here's the thing. This is not the type of program that you learn information and then eventually you apply it. And you eventually make money. No. One thing that we are, one of our mantras is earn while you learn. Okay. So we are going to help you get clients while you're in the program so that we can help support you as you're supporting your clients. Okay. And so that's this case studies piece of it. Again, you have PRN access to me and Dr. Elena. So whether you have a business question or a clinical question, doesn't matter. Beverly is on. Beverly reached out to me just the other day for some business support. And so you have access to that. Mastermind. The mastermind kicks in really that's after that 3rd month. So what is the mastermind? This is where it's advanced functional medicine testing, like Dutch, like somebody mentioned GI map, GI effects earlier today. So the advanced gut testing. So these are advanced environmental tox screens, right? And then also advanced business development things as well, and co-working sessions. Let me tell you about the co-working sessions really quickly, you guys. We know a lot of stuff, but here's the thing. It's not about what you know, it's what you do with the knowledge that you have, right? It's what you do with what you know. And so that's why we have the co-working sessions, which are essentially implementation sessions. And so it's you, me, Dr. Landis, we share our screen, you share your screen. We're literally, if we are, working with social media, if we are creating content, we're doing it in real time. So again, this is not the type of program that you come in and you get to hide out or you get to accumulate all this knowledge. No. We're doing it all in real time. Okay. You also get access to our legal experts and our tax experts as well. All righty. We talked about protocol development. Actually, we didn't. But as you are learning the root cause and identifying what the root cause is, okay, that's great. But now how do you help? How do you treat it? What do you do? No worry, we got you covered. There's a whole protocol suite that's done for you protocols. And Dr. Landis does a really phenomenal job of really equipping you with how to create your own protocols, because this is not a cookie cutter. This is not about having a cookie cutter approach, right? 80% of the protocol is going to be perfect for everybody, but it's that 20% of customization that you're going to want to be able to do for whoever's sitting across from you, from whoever your client is, okay? So you get access to the whole protocol development suite, and then a resource center, right? So protocol suites, cheat sheets, reference guides, assessment tools, client contracts and waivers, case studies, nutritional recommendations, lifestyle and targeted therapy recommendations, all of those things, business tools. There's a really phenomenal spreadsheet in there that help make sure that you're maximizing your profit. So those are things that when I say business tools, okay? And then there's something to be said about a community of like-minded, badass, yes, I said ass, healthcare professionals that are doing the doggone thing, okay? So that is the program, pretty much in a high-level overview. Just to break down to the nitty-gritty, first 6 weeks, remember I said it's all clinical? So the first 2 weeks, CBC is pretty in-depth. First 2 weeks of CBC with diff, part 1 and part 2, and then we move into complete metabolic panel, lipid panel, complete thyroid, cardiac trio, and hormones, okay? Then you jump into week 6. Again, you have asynchronous. So if you're like, but wait, I want to learn more about content creation now, or I want to learn more about program development now. I don't want to have to wait till week 8. Don't wait, jump in. As soon as you enroll, you get access to the entire program, okay? All right, so week 6, beginning with week 7 through 12, business clarity and vision. We help you develop out your program. We help you, we go do a deep dive into client attraction. We help you master enrollment conversations. That is, how do you transition people from a potential client to, yes, here's my card, how do we work together? Paid client, right? Money mindset, content creation, social media marketing. Okay. And then you move on to the mastermind, which is again, those higher level, more advanced things. Okay. Or topics, I should say. Now, with that being said, I want to ask you, what would you think would be the cost of that? What do you think? How much do you think all of that will cost? You can type in the chat. Go ahead. Type in the chat for me. Some of y'all probably know, and that's fine. So my question to you is, I'll look in the chat in just a sec. My question to you is, if you do what you've done for the last 6 months, if you continue to do what you've been doing for the last 6 months, where will you be? I want y'all to type that. I want everyone to type in where they believe they will be. If you continue to do what you've done for the last 6 months, where will you be? Go ahead, type it in. I don't think I see any. Oh, there we go. I wasn't looking at it. There we go. Right where I am, right, Sydney? Unchanged. Yep. Not where I want to be. Same place. Yeah. Close, Lord Jesus. Yeah, we don't want that. We definitely, thank you for your transparency. And that's not what we're here for. We're not available for that, right? Then we know we've got to do something different now, right? Limited, right? Absolutely. And so, but I want you to imagine, I really want y'all to imagine, if you had the support of Dr. Orlandis and myself working together with you, hand in hand, eyeball to eyeball, knee to knee, right, over the next 6 months to help you identify your niche, right? Learn these functional medicine markers, learn how to help you get your clients better, faster, help you develop a program that's truly going to be transformational for them, help you price your program appropriately, help you attract the right clients that don't balk at the idea of the pricing because they are the right fit clients, right? If you had us, and so much more, everything else that I just mentioned on the slides there, but if you had us working hand in hand with you, where do you think you would be in the next 6 months? I want you to type that in. Where do you think you'd be? And how would that change? How would that change things for you? How would that change your life? And how would that change your business? Some of y'all are not typing. Flourishing, yes, love that. Ina, Audrey, Lakeisha, making the bag. All right, Karima, well on my way. Endless possibilities, exponential growth. I love that, Jennifer. Elevating Nell. Yes, yes, yes. Who didn't go? Growth. Growth. Yes, I love that. Monica, did you go? I told you this is not the place where you can hide. Kimberly, Amber. Growth. I love it. I love it. I love it. Absolutely. And so, and what would that mean for you? Literally, what would that mean? So yes, you have elevation. Yes, you have exponential growth. Yes, you have, yes, you're making the bag. Well on your way. Yes, you're flourishing. But what would that mean for you? Financial freedom, time freedom, more time with your family, balanced life. It means many healed. Yes. Past fear, that worry and doubt. I love that, Beverly. Freedom, time, and financial. Yes, Audrey. Oh my God, I love that. Yep. Yep. And so freedom and comfort. Say that again. Financial freedom, travel. Yes. Yes, yes, and yes. All right. And so this is empowerment. That's one of my favorite words now. Absolutely. And so this is, let me see if I can move my screen. This is these are your options for the investment for the program. Okay. I will tell you for tonight, remember I said there's one person for tonight will get something, an extra bonus. For tonight, you see this says first one only. You're going to get 3 bonuses. One, you're going to get a root cause blood work analysis and a customized protocol. So that way you yourself can start optimizing your health day 1. Okay. 2, you're going to get a VIP day with me and Dr. Alanis, niche, where we're going to look at clarifying your niche. We're going to help you with your marketing, and we're going to help you develop your program, your premium program. We're going to price it. We're going to help you develop the pillars, all the things. So you can start selling it immediately. And then the third thing is you're going to get access to our high ticket sales framework. It's 7 models. It's immediate access. It's lifetime access. This is the exact model that Dr. Alanis uses, that I use, that we teach our clients, of course, so that you can start enrolling premium clients or clients into your high ticket programs with ease. It is an art and it is a science, and you get access to it immediately. Okay. It's for one person tonight that gets who gets all those bonuses. You also get the opportunity to enroll in the program for not $18,000, which is what it's priced at, but $15,000. And so because it is only for one person, and FYI, let me just say this: the deposit for that's only $2,500. You don't have to pay all 25. Excuse me, you don't have to pay all $15,000 now. The deposit is $2,500. And literally the first person who just types in "I'm in," you get all of this. You get the 3 bonuses, and you get to enroll in the program for $15,000 instead of $18,000. Okay. If you're watching the replay, this is not for, we're glad that you're watching the replay, but this is only for people that join this live. Okay. This is only available for those who join us live. Okay. So you have another option, FYI, and it's the deposit is still the same, whether you pay in full or you do the monthly payments. The deposit is still $2,500. The difference is instead of $15,000, right, you would do 6 payments of $3,000. Again, the deposit is the same either way. All righty. With that being said, any questions? Now I'm gonna actually stop my share. I'm gonna stop my share and let's see if I stop my share. All right. Stop my share and see if there's any questions, whether they're business questions. And we're at 8:30, so we've got like 2 minutes. This will be a quick Q&A. Any business question? Any clinical question? Any question at all? And if so, I'm just gonna have you come off mute. Don't type it in because it'll take too long to type. So if you have any question, go ahead. Hey, Dr. Alanis, there you are. You're muted, but I know you were with us the whole time. All right. Any questions at all from anyone? Going once. If so, go ahead and just hop off mute. Come off mute. Going once. Have to run. Okay, no worries. Going once. Going twice. All right. Well, that being said, you guys, thank you so much for joining tonight. Again, this is about taking action, not about accumulating more information just to put in your beautiful head. Action. Okay, you're very welcome. That being said, you guys, we cannot wait to speak with you on your process practitioner call. I know a lot of you scheduled your call. If not, I'm going to drop that link again. There we go. I'm going to drop the link for you again. Oh, hold on. I almost just texted one person. There we go. Link goes to everybody. You're so welcome, Pamela. Okay, gotcha. I just saw your message, Sydney. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay. All right. That being said, I'll drop the calendar link. If there are any more spots and you didn't get a chance to schedule it, go ahead. Otherwise, if you typed yes that you wanted a call, we'll make sure that we circle back if you didn't schedule and make sure that you get a call. Okay. You're welcome. Y'all have a great night. Thank you, Dr. Landis. Thank you, everyone. And we will talk to y'all soon. Bye,
Bye,
for
everybody. Have a
now.
good night. Bye-bye.
Adios.
See you soon.
Sayonara. Have you read Archie? I watched Boomerang the other day. And you know how they were saying goodbye in like multiple languages. Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.